I wrote this essay called W G Sebald. It began with driving through the Dutch landscape and suddenly realising we were lost. And previously, I'd been given this sort of map of Berlin. I think we just moved to Germany, and I'd given them a map of Berlin on a cloth, on a handkerchief. And my father immediately triggered something in him, and he remembered that he had found this cloth map that had been blown out of an aeroplane as it crashed. He just went and put his hands on it immediately. He said, I was near a place, and he leaned across the map and he said, Goch, right? This place, Goch. And then in February, I was driving around Holland on the borders with Germany, and I was with this curator, Rita Kirsting, and we were lost. And she started to talk about it. Well, she came from a town near there. And I don't know what made me say it, but I just went, Goch, which is a tiny town, in fact. And she said, yes, how the hell did you know? And so there was that going on, and then parallel to that was Rufus Isaac, my great-great-uncle. His sister had bought a Van Gogh. Van Gogh's family came from Goch, and then realising that took me to Marconi through his brother Godfrey, who was the first managing director of the Marconi Corporation. At that point, I was reading the chapter on Roger Casement. I knew about Roger Casement. I've known about him for a while. And then, of course, I had a knife through the heart where I realised that it was my great-great-uncle, Sir Rufus Isaacs, who had been the hanging judge on that particular case. It was a true shock to me, actually. A true shock. There were all these connections, Sebaldian in a way, but also close to how I make my own work, which is relying on a sort of objective chance method where you go along and then something happens and it makes you take a different direction. Coincidences like dreams, if you talk about them, they become dead, they're inert. You know, they don't mean anything to anyone else. And the only thing you can do with them is to transmute them, to change them in some way, which is, of course, what Sebald does. He takes you down these poetic cul-de-sacs, and you don't care that you're being led nowhere, of course, because you learn so much on the way.